How are we all doing? Are we okay? My name is Abass Bangura. How many of you are seeing me for the first time? Raise your hand up. If you're seeing me for the first time, raise your hand up. And it's always beautiful. You're seeing me for the first time. You're hearing about me for the first time. Again, you're not just meeting me, but this is the first time you're hearing about Abass Bangura. First time. Nobody. So you've all heard about me, right? Okay, cool. So, and if you've heard about me, then you've heard a bit of my story. When was that? In 1989? 1991, I was at the IPAM. A student like you in the small building over there, reading what we called Association of Accounting Technicians and the Technician Diploma in Accounting. I was at the IPAM. So if there had been a student union government at that point in time, I would have been the first student union leader, president. I would have been the first student union president in IPAM. So I know a bit about IPAM. The late Ibime Parker was the director then, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of stories about IPAM and my experience and stuff. But let's talk about MSME development in Sierra Leone. And I have as a subtitle the Startup Capital Myth. Is it possible to run a business without money? Is it possible to run a business without money? No. But is it possible to start a business without money? And that's the important question. I don't want you to miss. It's just one point I want to talk about. They were talking about capitalism without capital. He shared with me some of the notes of the stuff that you talked about in terms of the 4 big limitations that were there that inhibits startup, people from growing. And those 4 things, I don't know whether you still have them in your head. What are the 4 things that he said were the major issues? Anybody still remember? There are 4 big blocks. The first one was what? Enabling environment. What's the second one? Technology. Tech. What's the third one? Access to finance. And what's the fourth one? Access to markets. Now, access to markets, there's something I have in terms of his notes where access to finance was a big one here, and also the skills was the fourth. The skills, lack of skills and capability, competence, it's all about skills. Access to people who could teach and train and coach. So this too is what I want to focus on, access to finance and actually the area of skills and how you may not be able to control enabling environment. It's not you that will create the enabling environment. Who will create that environment? It's the government and its partners and stuff. It's beyond you. You cannot. The 2 things that I think you can be able to master now at this stage, even as you are in university here, is you can deal with this, you can deal with this. You can deal with this too. So, first question, can you start a business without capital? Can you start a business without capital? You're not sure? You're not sure? What's your name? Ishmael Cole? Ishmael Dumbuya. You say you can start, but what?
There are challenges on the way.
There are challenges on the way you can start. Can you start a business without capital? Let me change it. So somebody say no. You need capital to start business. You need capital to start business, yes or no? Yes. Those who say yes, raise your hands up. Put your hands down. Those who say you don't need capital to start a business, raise your hands up. You don't. Very few. So majority believes you need capital. Now what we need to define is which kind of capital. Because that's where we get it wrong. Which kind of capital is the next question. When you talk about capital for business startups, the first thing that comes into mind is money. For startups, the first thing that comes into mind, but is money the only capital you need to start a business? Good. Is money the only capital you need to start a business? So let's list what's some of the other components of capital that you need to start a business. Fire. Where? What is wealth? Is it wealth money? I don't think wealth is correct. Expertise. This guy says expertise. You need expertise. You need to know what you want to do to the core. You need to know it. You want to set up a salon as a hairdresser, you need to know the dynamics. Expertise, yes. Skills. So expertise, I'll add skills there. You need skills, yes. What else? Location. You need a location. Sometimes, can you start without location? Now, when you're talking about location, are you talking about an office? Let's try again. What do you need to start? Now, what else? Expertise and skills. Move, next. Type of business that you want to run. So you could actually add knowledge there. Knowledge, ideas. What else? What else do you need to start? Feasibility study. You have to know expertise and skills. You have to do feasibility. You have to know the business. You have to study about the business. What else do you need? Do you need equipment to start? So maybe let's put assets and let's put question mark, because you need money to get this. If you don't have the assets, what do you do? That's why I say let's give this a question mark. Let's continue. What else would you need to be able to start a business? To start from day one. If you don't have assets, what do you say? You want to say something? You wanted to say, you need partners. Brilliant. You need partners. Yes? You need a business plan and feasibility. All of this comes around knowledge, ideas, feasibility. You have to have the plan. You have to have a business plan. To do the business plan, you have to have a feasibility. You have to know about the business. Yes, please, from the back there. That's where you study everything about the business plan. Who am I selling to? Your target customers. Your competition. Competition. Now, there are a lot of things. These are all the things that go into the business plan. Now, the point I'm trying to make here, whilst you need capital to start a business, you don't need money to start a business. And it's going to rattle a lot of people's mind. You're watching and you're listening to this, and a big question mark, because each time you talk about young people wanting to go into business, the first thing, what's the first problem they tell you that they have? I don't have the money. I don't have the money. And so, we would rattle your mind today and maybe move your face from the front, send it to the back, and bring it around so that we radically change the way young people think in this country, because you can't start a business without money. Now, to get the expertise doesn't require money. What do you have to do to get expertise in anything in this country? Anything you want to do. The last time I was here, I was talking to a lady who does ogiri. And she sells ogiri. She packages it and sells. And people were laughing, hey, ogiri, but she's paying her fees with it. What do you need to get expertise in anything? Give me an example of any skill, any trade you want to move into, and tell me whether you need to pay to get the expertise. Give me an example. Any example? Butterscotch is too low. Yes, butterscotch is one. But can you get the expertise from butterscotch selling without having money to make butterscotch? I'm asking you the question again. Would you need money to learn how to make butterscotch? What do you have to do? You need the skills. How do you get the skills if you don't have money? You go? How do you learn? Through friends. You go to somebody who's already doing it. Sit by them. Study. Be there in the morning till the night. Study with them. You could get expertise in skills and build skills without having money. You have to just show you're interested. You have to just show you're interested. Go to the place, sit down, watch, stay there. They say that footwear we work out better pass you always sit down. I am better off 1,000 times. So somebody tells me, I haven't got a job, I've been trying, and I could check the number of times you move out every day, how many applications you've pushed out, you've moved out, and I'll know whether you're serious. If for a whole year you've only been to 5 offices, the whole year, 365 days, 5 offices, 10 applications, for a whole year, you're not committed enough. So you can get the expertise you require, because there's something I'm going to talk about here. You can get the expertise you require without money. You agree with me? Yes. When young people tell you, I can't start because I don't have money, I'm saying it's not true. You don't have to have the money to start. You've already started listening. So let's move on with this. So the thing is, so that's why I said it's a startup capital myth. Once you need capital, it's not cash capital. It's not just money capital. There are a couple of other things that you have already. And what you can do is to start where you are. Can we read what you had there? Start where you are. 2, 3, go. Start where you are. Stop there. So let's say it again. Repeat again. Say 2, 3, go. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Any one of us can start today where you are. There are a couple of stories in the Bible about the prophet going to this young woman and said, give me something to eat. She said, I have nothing in my house. He said, no, it's not true. You do have. Well, yes, I have just a piece of bread and oil, but that's the last one I have to make for my child, and then we will eat, and then we will die. He said, okay, that's the one you're going to use. Invest this, and it will be multiplied. Until the famine is over, you will never run out of oil. There's another story about Jesus, and so the guy said, he only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He said, bring it to me. But he says, this is what we have. Because and go to the second point. You are never without anything. To say I'm not getting nothing, it's a lie. You're never without anything. You've not looked enough. Inside your host, in your skills, in your height. I've talked this about Aki and Popo jokingly all the time. Aki and Popo, starting off, they had nothing. You would look at them and say they are disadvantaged. And how did they use that disadvantage in terms of the limited vertical that they had? And that's what made them funny. That's what made them attractive. You are never not without anything. Can you say that again with me? You are never not without. Let me say it to yourself as you beat. I am never not without anything. Beat your chest as you say that. 2, 3, go. These are very strong points. You are never without anything. You are never not without anything. There's always something. Some ladies are beautiful. Okay, can be salesperson for me. It doesn't mean you sleep with everybody in the street, but no, there's an attractiveness that you have, and you sabi talk that makes even people want to buy, then they buy. Use it. It doesn't mean you sleep with everybody in shelter. No, you don't. I've seen ladies that are masters. They know men. So they're able to play around men and know where to draw the line and tell you I'm professional, I'm doing a job, and have a way when it comes to the point to be able to say, dear, na marketer can't sell, not to myself I can't sell, do you help me? There's a way you could do that, but you're never not without anything. To start, you're never not without anything. You're never not without anything. You always have something to start. And so the question they ask is, what's in your hands? You want to be an entrepreneur, what's in your hand? The things the government is doing, done, but where do you start? Because there's a point I have to make here. There's this guy, this lovely guy is a mentor of mine. What's this guy's name? Where is his surname? So he's Vusi Tembekwayo. Vusi Tembekwayo is a South African entrepreneur. Let's read what he said. This is powerful. If you need money to start, you're not an entrepreneur. And that's the point. It's not to grow, but to start. Because you could start where you are, with what you have, doing what you can. So what can I do? I can do this. Go do it. Because ultimately what you have to do is to do what you have to do now so that you get to do what you want to do. So it says that's what entrepreneurs do. If you need funding to be an entrepreneur, you're not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs do one thing to pay for the other thing, to pay for the other thing, so that they eventually get to do what they want to do. And I have stories, long stories. I started up Life by Design and just talking, knowing how to talk, I could present. I had nothing. I don't have cameras. I had nothing. I had no staff. It was just me and myself alone and my big mouth. That's all I had. And a brain and knowledge and experience that I had. So that's why what you have to start off with, you have skills. If you reach at the bottom here, you have what else is there? Talent. You have knowledge. You have experience. You have energy. And you have time. The time where they sit down and watch Nigerian movies, it's the time you could spend building something that pays for where you want to go. So the lady downstairs, she's selling ogiri. She's cooking, packaging it, and bringing it. That's not what she wants to do for the rest of her life, but she's doing what she has to do now so that she could pay to do what she wants to do. Is anybody understand what I'm saying? Yes. Clap for yourself. Because if you just apply this, it will change your life. If you just apply this, it will change your life. You are never not without anything. You are never not without anything. I challenge you. You are never not without anything.